I've got a quick little review for you guys. It's going to be quick, it's going to be short because this is a review for a short film. A horror short, to be specific, horror/thriller, but I feel like it's more horror just because of the slasher nature of the oh my gosh. Sorry. What I was saying is I feel like it's a horror because of the slasher nature of this little short film that I watched. Someone from LouiepTv channel on YouTube contacted me not long ago asking if I could do a review of a short film that they had. It's called The Deranged, as you can see here. And I agreed because it sounded like it was something right up my alley. So here are just my thoughts, just based on notes I took as I was watching this, because I was taking notes as I watched. I would pause when certain things stuck out at me, or things like that. So right off the bat, I wanted to say that the intro scene / credits, where they're just kind of like showing the name of the companies that are working on this, and the credits, and the names of the actors and things like that, that really set the tone, because the undertone, the tone and undertone, it sets the tone, because the underlying, or the music in the background, this very eerie sort of music, so it's going to be something scary. I mean, the title kind of tells you the deranged, because this killer is deranged, clearly. But the music at the beginning, the score at the beginning, really sets the mood, so you know what you're in for. And it opens up, and it's so short. I'm trying to give you enough, but not give you too much. I don't want to say everything that happens because it is so short. It's only about it's not even 25 minutes long. So it doesn't, it won't take a big chunk of your, time to check it out, which I do recommend, because if you like horror stuff, you'll probably like this. It's just a very simple sort of story. There's this deranged person killing people, and it throws you right into the beginning of, or in the beginning, it throws you right into the middle of, well, this right here. He's got someone at his mercy. He's a slasher, ruthless slasher, and so this is going to be bloody. but actually, there's not a ton of blood in here. And a lot of things that happen, or a lot of the scary sort of stuff that happens when the killer's doing his thing, it's off camera, which helps, in my opinion, amp up the scary factor of things like that. So like something's happening to someone in another part of the room, and a person hiding can hear it, and that's all you're seeing is that the person that's hiding, their reaction to it, which you can really feel the tension. So I felt that was pretty good. Also, I feel like just overall there's an effective buildup of tension in here. Something's going to happen, but you don't know what, and you don't know when. And when something would happen, when the killer would, let's say, jump out or whatever, it was startling. Jump scare, as is typical with horror films. I mean, it's just kind of part of it, right? So to expect things like that. But even so, when it happens, it still kind of startled me. At least one time it startled me, because I knew it was going to happen, but I just did not expect from when and where. And when that particular event occurred, I felt like it was carried off really well. Really well. Sorry, I can't talk. The startle factor, and the reaction of the people involved in the scene, the reaction of the person being attacked, the reaction of the person that's there seeing it happen. It was very quick, very short, but I felt like it was carried out and acted pretty well. I was impressed with that. And also, with regard to just this overall film, you can tell that some serious effort went into making this. Story-wise, they are trying to build some character depth. You get to know the characters a little bit, even though it's just like a little microcosm of their life, or whatever's left of their life. And it's not, some super short films, there's not a lot you can do with the characters, right? But with something that's a little bit longer, you have a few more minutes to play around with. You get to know the characters, you get to know some of the interactions with them. And so I feel like story-wise, there's definitely some effort that went into, some serious effort that went into creating this story. Also, you can tell with the way the scenes are shot or framed or whatever. You can tell whoever's behind the camera. I guess Louis P's the director or producer. Well, he's the producer. I don't know who was behind the camera, but you can tell that they have some experience or some knowledge. It's not like they're just going in blind, just taking these, sloppy shots. They're actually taking the time to frame the scene, shoot the shot correctly, things like that. So I appreciated that. And now I'll get into con territory. Honestly, there's not a ton as far as this whole short film goes. I mean, it's a short. That's one complaint. I like to watch short films just because, well, one of the reasons is because they can tell this story in an effectively short amount of time. The downside to the fact that this is a little bit longer than some of the other shorts I've been watching, which is like 5 minutes or less, is that I'm getting invested in these characters, and there was an abrupt end. And I don't know if this means there's going to be a continuation of the story. It doesn't say this is a part 1. I didn't see anything else on their YouTube channel about there being a part 2 or continuation or whatever, but there were some questions left unanswered. I'll give you an example. There are some characters that go outside the house, and they have this little talk amongst themselves, and one of them says that they wanted to tell the other person something, and then they go off. Well, I'd like to know, what did he want to tell them? Also, maybe this is not important, but these are things I like to, what was it? We don't know because the movie's done. What else happened to some of the other characters that we never see again? At least one of which we have no clue what happened to them when events went down, and the other two we just never see them again, so we don't know either. I would like to know also, there's a detective in here. I would like to know, how's his investigation going? What other sorts of things are happening? Like, what else is he finding? Maybe that's irrelevant, but I get drawn into a story and I want to know stuff like this. So like I said, that's a pretty minor. That's not really, that's just me wanting to find out more. It doesn't mean this is not worth a watch, so don't take it that way at all. And the only other thing as far as con territory that I could point out, like technical stuff. There's like, I'll give you an example. There's a shot of a city scene at night with traffic, and I felt like it lingered just a tad too long on that shot. Like, this is really, I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this or con things to say about this. So I'm just trying to offer some constructive input. The other thing that I could think of is with regard to the technical aspect again, the sound. But this is an indie short film. It's not going to be necessarily cinematic quality sound. By sound, I mean the reverb in the room. That's, I focus on reverb because I notice stuff maybe other people wouldn't care about or pay attention to, but I'm into audio. That's my profession. I notice things like that. So you could tell that, like, let's say the rooms weren't treated. You could hear the echo on the walls, things like that. Like I said, that's not a big, huge deal. I understand that and expect that when it comes to small movie productions. That's just part of the territory because you don't always have the time and the equipment to make things like what we see on the big screen. It's not possible, but you have this story. You want to get this story told, so you make a good story. The main thing, honestly, I can look past sound that's not the best as far as, like, let's say movie studio stuff, if the story is interesting. The story was interesting, pulled me in. It was very short. I wanted more. And I guess that's ultimately the fact that I wanted more could also be viewed as a pro, not necessarily a con. But I would like to know what happened to some of these other characters. Is there going to be a continuation? Are we going to find out stuff. I almost let something slip. Are we going to find out stuff about the deranged person in this little story? So if you guys are going to make a part 2, let me know, because I would like to check it out, find out more. I kind of have a feeling you're not, because it didn't indicate, but maybe if enough people tell you that they'd like to know more, maybe you guys will be like, oh, whatever. Sorry, putting a lot on you. Oh yeah, something else I forgot to mention in my review was that after I watched this short film, I found a behind the scenes very short video on their channel, which is a couple minutes long. It was pretty entertaining. It just showed, you know, background stuff, obviously behind the scenes, and how they were doing the different shots. And I meant to give a shout out to that when I was doing the review, but I didn't see it in my notes here, and I did write it down. But anyway, I'll put a link to the behind the scenes, as well, of course, to the link to this movie that I saw, this short film, and a link to their channel. So you can go there and check out their stuff. Okay, back to the review. Anyway, that's all I can think of at the moment to say about this. Like I said, it's a short film, so it's going to be a short review. Bottom line, I enjoyed it. If you guys like horror stuff, especially if you guys like short films, check it out. And hopefully you like it. You know, it was enjoyable. And good job, you guys. Thanks for contacting me about this, and if you have any plans in the future to continue, like I said, with this story, let me know so I can check it out and have my curiosity questions answered. All right, you guys. Bye.